bit of a messy situation. So, I knew that they had been a thing going into the relationship. Some of my friends, for better or worse, checked out her Facebook and found a few old photos of them when they were together. It had been at least a year or two since they'd broken up, but I didn't know how to interpret that kind of thing or what to do with that kind of information. I just sort of figured it shouldn't matter. I wasn't Alan. I'm me. But what I thought of it didn't really mean much. Like so many other people, Lotus drew many comparisons and saw many similarities between me and Alan. Once, after she'd confessed her feelings, but before we officially became a couple, she had lamented that she felt horrible because when she looked at me, quote, she couldn't help thinking of someone else. End quote. Alan was with the coalition, so he'd show up basically anywhere the clubs would show up, including her club and mine. And then he started showing up with Elise, who I'd spend time with when I could. So Lotus could see the side-by-side of her ex and the guy who was currently interested in her. It only makes sense that it would tear her up inside. At the time, I didn't let it bother me, I think. I offered my shoulder to cry on, gave her support, and reminded her that we didn't have to be a thing if she's not ready. That it's best for her to look after herself first before getting into a relationship with me. It felt like sound advice, though my reasons for giving it were complicated. My idea of romance had something of an altruistic bent. Self-sacrifice for the one you love. Kind of fairy tale romantic, and I think that's what I was trying to be or emulate or present. Whatever the case, I buried my feelings under concern, unconditional support, and the quiet hope that if I just was there, that if I held on and did the best that I could, everything would turn out all right. I thought that I'd had the right of it when she asked me to be her boyfriend. I thought she'd figured something out for herself. I didn't ask, though. Figured we could just focus on what comes next. But the shadow of her past relationship was still following her, and it had been quietly creeping to cover me as well, lurking just under the surface of her countenance and actions. When she turned down invites to see a club event, when she went silent when I mentioned meeting up with Elise. I only now realize that I was terrified of asking about the things that bothered her because, well, I felt deep down that it would circle back to Alan. So I held my tongue, which was something she disliked about me. But with school and clubs, we were able to keep our attention off of the issues with us. Massage them a little, perhaps, with the time we could spare to spend with each other. But when the events wrapped up, there was only exams. Then, there was only finals. And when those long, arduous school days came to a sigh-inducing end, the long summer stretched out before us, our schedules cleared up, well, we had all the time in the world to think about where we were as a couple and realize maybe neither of us was good enough for the other.